What is going on, guys? My name is Taylor and welcome to my channel. So what you're seeing is the start of me rearranging my room, and what I wanted to tackle first was my closet space area. So as you can see, I got a lot of clutter going on with the top of my dresser and in my closet with all the shoes and everything. So what I'm planning to do is create a little more organization and storage space in this little area while rearranging everything, creating a little bit more space in my closet. So what I have planned is to create a wardrobe, as you can see right here. I got a lot more organization with the shelves and stuff on the side, and as well as shoe space at the top and bottom. So stay tuned and I'll show you guys how I built this. So the entire wardrobe is going to be about 80 inches tall, and since it's sitting right underneath the attic access area, I'm going to have to put it on some casters to be able to roll it out in and out of the way. So the casters are about 2.5 inches tall. I'm just going to subtract that from the 80 to give me the perfect measurement. And the measurement I came up with is going to be the perfect height to slide it in and out of the doorway if I need to. So I already cut the first piece to length, so I'm going to take that piece and throw it on top and line it up to make sure I got two boards the same length. Now I do this just in case the first cut was a little bit off. Now I know that the tools I'm working with is not the best, but I work with what I got. And lining them up like this ensures that I have two boards cut the same length. Now I would rather have two boards cut incorrectly the same way than one board cut correct and another board cut incorrect. This ensures that I don't waste wood. Now you should always measure twice, cut once. In my case, I always measure 3-4 times, but with the tools I'm working with, I always end up slightly incorrect on my measurements. That's why I take the extra precaution to line boards up like this and measure and measure and measure again, just to ensure that I don't have those headaches and slip up. But it's just me. You can do whatever works best for you. So this is a good example of working with what you got. I just took a scrap piece of wood I had laying around and screwed it to the top of the board. This gave me a guide to give me a straight cut across to ensure that I don't have like curved edges when I'm cutting. So I probably should have had something underneath that board to keep it from falling, but that was just a scrap piece of wood, so I just went along with the project. And that's what I'm thinking to myself right here. But I went on and measured both sides. I did get a little off track towards the end of the cut. That wasn't too much of a problem. So for the smaller boards, I decided to go over to the miter saw and use that to cut the boards down. I thought I could get a straighter cut. I just cut one end, then flipped it over and cut the other end. It worked out pretty well for me. I needed a total of 4 boards cut this way, the top, bottom, and the 2 middle pieces. So I went ahead and cut all those 4, and then I'm pretty much ready to start framing. Now I decided to use Pacos for this project. I picked up a $20 Craig starter kit and 1 1/4 inch screws to go with it, I believe, since I'm using 3/4 inch plywood. This is my first time actually using Pacos, and as you can see, there's some extra holes in the top of the board. That was me setting up the jig incorrectly. The screws weren't able to make it through to make sure the boards were secured together. So if this is your first time using the Paco jig or adjusting it, be sure to try a test piece to make sure everything's set up properly. I used 4 2-inch casters to grade at 100 pounds each and throw them on the bottom, and that should be more than enough to support the weight I'm going to have on this. This is the middle piece that I added to separate the closet space and to support the shelves that I'm going to have on the side. And I just used some black air brackets to support the piece. For the shelf supports, I just used some 1x1s and drilled them onto the side, and I spaced them out using the pre-cut template to make sure that I was all spaced correctly. Now that I got the garage nice and clean, it was time for me to move on to paint. Mariah was dying to help me paint something, so she insisted on helping me out with this part. Ideally, I should have painted this out in the garage, but since I had to assemble it in here, I also had to paint since my room was on the second floor. I just laid the cover down to protect the floor from paint just in case anything went wrong, but it turned out pretty great. While I was letting the paint dry, it was time for me to get this area cleaned up so I can get ready to fit it in place. So guys, this is the finished product with the shelves and the closet rod inserted. Unfortunately, a few of my videos got corrupted, so I wasn't able to get good footage of me installing those. So I'm definitely happy with how this wardrobe turned out. And if you guys made it this far, why not like and subscribe to my channel for future content. Thanks, and I'll see you on the next one.